morning, everyone. Today we're in Holbrook, Arizona, looking for the historic meteorite fall of July 19, 1912.
Maybe millions of stones came down here, and some were picked up, a lot weren't, and they've been kind of worked into the soil around here. So just by walking around, kind of looking for areas that are eroding, doing things like that, you can often find pieces still. That's pretty cool. They look pretty fresh, they're a little different than the stuff we usually find, and it should be fun. Alright, wandering through these duney things, some Lake Betty stuff, but I just came across this thing. It's pretty sad. I think some of the rest of it's kind of out here. Some shiny things, but it's pretty far gone. At the bottom, not sure if that's an iron pontil, but they had it on a stick kind of hand blown, but oh god. Here you can see it had some crazy bubbles in the glass. And the color is, it's nice, like olive, yellow, green. That was a pretty bottle. It's too bad. Pretty cool. Well, maybe for someone else to see. No meteorites yet. Whole bunch of little bits of magnetic slag. Kind of blown over from the railroad, iron shale from old tin cans and stuff. But we haven't been out here that long, so we'll see. Yeah, where's the Krista? There. Alright. Back to hunting. Alright, well, I don't know who this is, but he looks pretty mean. Yeah. Shiny red spider. Oh god. Where did he go? He's fast when he wants to be. Alright, continues.
Alright, so this is a kind of unique way of hunting for meteorites. What I have here in front of me is an ant hill. And these ants, when they're creating their nest or whatever you call it, throw out all these little rocks that were buried underground where they're digging their tunnels. So what you can do, because this is such a dense strewn field when the meteorite fell, is take your magnet and run it through all these little rocks that they've pushed out, and then take a look, see if there's anything in there. Not this time.
So we've been out here for a little bit. I've seen a whole bunch of slag and bits of old rusty cans and stuff. In fact, there's a little bit of slaggy stuff. There's a little bit there. There's another bit under that bush over there. But this little guy is different. I already hit him with a magnet, so it doesn't really matter. That's where it was. He's not slaggy. He's very magnetic. He's got some rust spots. I think some lipping. I think this is actually the front of him. I think it's a little oriented stone. Definitely a meteorite. Almost completely fusion crusted. Ah! We have some company. Anyway. Yeah. Pretty cool. So, anywho, there he goes. Chris is somewhere over there. I'm gonna make her out. Yeah. I don't know if she's found anything yet. I saw her shooting a video a little while ago, but I couldn't really tell. Yeah, just gotta walk out here, rock to rock. Be fun. Alright, I'm gonna get back to hunting and see if we can find some more. Alright, so this is a classic Holbrook pea. It's a little bit oriented. There are a few flow lines on the front. There's a little bit of froth around the back.
And you can see the fusion crust on this stone is kind of holding it together. Where it flaked away on the back there, you can see the stone's been etched away because it's so friable. That is typical for Holbrook. You'll see it on a bunch of the other stuff we found today.
Alright guys, well, we got an anthill here, so we gotta try it. See, I don't know if we're in the right place exactly in the field. Oh god, oh, we're pissing them off. Here they come. See if we got anything. And this little guy in the corner of my magnet is actually a little Holbrook meteorite. See fusion crust, can see where it's broken, rusty. But just that one, I think. Is there another one there? I don't know. Honestly, I'll GPS this as is tradition, and probably just clean the magnet off and make sure I get all this stuff. I might run it through again too, just to make sure. Yeah, I'll clean this off and do another run through with the magnet. We'll see. All right.
So we only got one little fragment out of this anthill. It's a classic Holbrook anthill chip. Little bit of fusion crust kind of on two sides. The rest is broken. I got a few other magnetic things out of that anthill, but none of them were meteorites. So, yeah.
All right, I got my first one of the day. One of the classic Holbrook peas. You can see where the crust is broken there. You can see the inside is kind of whitish tan colored, indicative of a fresh meteorite. Hasn't had time to rust yet, but everything else is crusted. I think it's mostly complete. Nice little guy. Looks like Jason's found something over there. A lot of area to hunt still. See what else comes up.
Alright, so I just found a little bit, tiny bit. That anthill over there, and Krista just gave a shout over here, so let's see what's up. Where is this monolith? Oh, that's pretty good. That's a nice little stone.
Yeah, it's mostly complete. Got a little bit of broken crust. You can see the inside.
That's a nice stone.
Right there.
That's bigger. Huh.
Holbrook peas.
Nice, alright.
This is a great little stone. It's got a nice chondrule down at the bottom there. It's mostly complete with a couple chips where you can see the inside kind of grayer material poking through the black crust.
Alright guys, well, out here hunting. Krista got a nice, probably 1-2 gram pea a few minutes ago. And I was just going along, saw these rocks, came over to investigate, and that little guy, see how big he is, is actually a little Holbrook pea. Maybe half a gram, probably a bit less even. But pretty complete stone, which is cool. There we go. See fusion crust. The chip on that corner. Yeah, into a chondrule. Crazy. That gray thing is the inside of a chondrule. Looks like a radial pyroxene. Little chip there. Yeah. One sec. Don't have enough hands for this. There we go. Yeah, almost complete little stone. Crazy. And he was just sitting loose here somewhere, like that. I don't know. Not even stuck down. Anywho, fun. So that's 2 peas and a few little fragments so far. And we've only been out hunting for like an hour and a half. Looks like Krista's down with something else over there, so hopefully she found something. I can't really see her. Yeah. Anyway, while you walk, while you find. Gotta keep at it. I'll GPS photo this guy and we'll keep going.
Alright, so this little Holbrook pea weighs just over 1/10 of a gram. It's almost completely fusion crusted, and you can see it's maybe a little bubbly on the back, so kind of oriented. It's pretty cool to be able to find meteorites this small out in the field. You can't do that very many places.
Alright, hey guys, well, saw this anthill, and it looked like maybe crusted on that side, but there's a lot more of it that is still pretty stuck down, so I scrutinized it as close as I could. And found that little guy, teeny pea, teeny pea, but a meteorite, little Holbrook pea, pretty cool. So yeah, well, he's got to tear him up a little bit. I'm going to do this one more, but fun.
Alright, so after really tearing up that anthill, you can see that I pulled out a few other stones that were pretty dirty. There are a few complete stones, a few fragments. There have to be so many meteorites worked into the top few feet of soil here. It is crazy. I mean, for ants to pull up that many. Yeah.
Alright guys, well, we moved locations. I am right up against the railroad tracks here. A lot of trash around, just a lot of iron glass stuff. This looked good. I stupidly hit it with a magnet, but it is indeed. Exactly. There we go. Holbrook. Half stone. Fusion crust, rust spots. That's my, I guess, third solo P for the day, and then a whole bunch of anthill stuff that I'm gonna have to go through. But most of those are meteorites, and I picked out. That's fun. And yeah, a lot more stuff to go through here. It's all very trashy, but it's good. You know, there are meteorites in it, so it's cool. I don't know. Krista was somewhere over there. She found an anthill. I don't see her anymore, so maybe something else. Yeah, it continues. What is it? It's about 1, a little after 1. I don't know, maybe it took a breather. It's over 100 today and hot. July in Arizona is something else. Anyway. Yep. I'll get back to hunting.
So this is a textbook example of a Holbrook pea. Nice black fusion crust, light gray interior, big rust spots all over it. The stones picked up right after the fall wouldn't have been rusty like this, but it's a perfect example of what you're looking for today.
Alright, so I guess we're in a good little area here, because that other stone is over there by like the cable, you can see. And then 20 feet this way, there is a nice little pea. Hit again. So, I don't know if those things fell. That's not right. That's rusty stuff around this trash. That's a meteorite. So, I guess they fell and washed. Close. It's Holbrook, because they probably fell that close. Who knows? And I think Krista's just found one over there. It's on the other side of that drainage thing. So, it's a good area. I'll go through this some more. Yeah. Let's see, he was just sitting on the surface. So didn't leave a hole divot or anything. It's just sitting there. Crazy. This one is 100% complete. Little pea. Cute. Alright. I gotta do photos and keep hunting. Yeah. Alright.
Alright, so this is a pretty perfect little Holbrook pea. Complete fusion crust, few chondrules poking through. Nice stone.
Alright. Alright, this is my second find of the day. Another little pea. So here we have another complete little pea. This one's a little crustier than the others. We think it might have been buried at some point and then exposed back onto the surface through erosion.
Alright, well I don't know what's going on here. The cable you can see is still, there's two bits just over there, there's a stone there, and another little pea here. So I got 3 peas in, I don't know, 40 feet. This one looks complete, but I haven't even poked him. You can see the rough spots in the crust. He's good. I guess I'll do pictures of him, clip him, and then keep exploring this area because it's fun. Alright guys, so here's the flip on this teeny guy. Huh? He's complete! Nice. Alright. I do the last few photos and then keep going.
Alright, so this stone has really nice fusion crust. It's just a nice little fresh meteorite.
So we're here at the next find. The last 3 were just in there. Came over, came around. And then this teeny guy. I did already hit him with a magnet because, yeah, he's broken on the bottom, crusted on the top. Another little Holbrook pea. Let's do it. Yeah. So they're here. They're here. Just over there. That's where I was heading, but I got more work to do in here first.
Alright, so this is a really nice crusted fragment, or maybe a half stone. Good fusion crust on the outside. And then on this side, you can see there's this little chondrule up near the top with a white ring around it. That's called a bleached rim. A few studies have looked at chondrules with bleached rims. They found that they were all radial pyroxene and that the bleaching looked to be due to aqueous alteration on the parent asteroid, so water actually leaching minerals out of kind of the outer margin of the chondrule. So that's pretty cool.
Alright, just got my third find of the day. Nice little complete stone. This is one of the nicest Holbrooks I think I've ever found. The fusion crust has great texture, it's 100% complete, really nice shape, just really great overall. Got another anthill, see if we can find anything in this one. Slag from the railroad. Looks like slag. Yeah, not seeing anything. Oh, keep looking.
Well, it's anthill time. This one actually is occupied, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful. It's in a good area of the field, I think. Deeper down. Oh, I'm getting angry. Oh, they're coming. Let's see, I'm good. All terrestrial, I think.
Alright, so from this anthill I picked up several magnetic things. Turns out the left 3 are meteorite fragments, and the right 2 are not. The bottom one is a piece of really bubbly slag. It's kind of reddish and black through and just full of bubbles. And the top thing doesn't have any fusion crust, but the color is kind of black, so the surface should be fusion crust, but it's clearly just broken. Whereas the meteorite fragments inside tend to be kind of lighter color, yellowy, rusty, maybe gray. But that thing's just black through and through with a big clear crystal in it. So I think it's a piece of basalt with some magnetite in it, stuck to the magnet. Definitely not a meteorite.
See if there's any little fragments of meteorites in there. Not seeing any. Keep looking. No, that's not one either. No. Unlucky, I guess. Alright, so finished checking out this anthill. Stopped the recording because I didn't think I was going to find anything. But I found these two little guys. A fragment and then a tiny little complete stone. So yeah. Weird way of finding meteorites. Alright, so after I stopped recording, I actually found a third piece in that anthill. So, 2 little chips and a little complete stone. Pretty good.
Well, I just turned over this anthill. This little PO. Maybe a tenth of a gram I got there.
Alright, so this stone is mostly complete. Fusion crust on this side, there's one broken side. It was a little tricky to photograph because it weighs 0.02 of a gram. It's about between 1 and 2 millimeters across. Tiny little thing. But fusion crusted meteorite. Crazy.
Alright guys, we found the anthill to end all anthills. It's huge. We're gonna go through it. We'll check back in a minute. Alright, well I think we learned something. This anthill, because it's like high up on this ridge, it doesn't seem to have collected any meteorites. There's one down there on the bottom, and a few. So it looks like the meteorites are kind of washing down, collecting in low areas, and then coming back in. And up here there's nothing, I think. Alright, well, it's getting pretty late. We gotta drive how many more hours?
6 more hours.
I usually do full days, but I'm pretty tired. Let's see. Let's try to find something to go back to the car, maybe. Get a cool drink. Alright. Peace.
After we got home, Chris and I were going through the video clips to make this movie and going through our find photos, and we both realized that there was one anthill that we came across while walking together that we split. As you know, you take half, I'll take half, see what turns up. It turns out there was a lot of stuff in it, but we forgot to film it. I have GPS photos of these things, but there's no video. So this is all from one anthill. These are my finds from it. Good range of stones, some complete ones, some fragments, some pretty fresh, like that one on the left, some pretty weathered, like the one on the right, where the crust is like barely there. And then there were a few little terrestrial rocks mixed in with the magnetic stuff. But yeah, really productive anthill, but sadly no video of it.
And here are my finds from that anthill. Again, a lot of little pieces, good assortment of, complete stone, fragments. Some of those pieces look like they were from pretty decent sized stones, but yeah, really impressed with how many chips were in that single anthill. Back in the day, there were probably a lot of stones on the ground. Additionally, I also searched another anthill and found these two pieces, which I just figured, well, it's another anthill, it's two little pieces, what's so special about that? So I just didn't film it. But this bigger one is actually oriented. It's got radial flow lines, really frothy on the back, 100% complete. It's actually a really cool stone. All right, and here's the roundup. Here are all the bigger individual stones we found.
And here are all the finds laid out. All the individuals, the anthill pieces, everything. It's pretty amazing to be able to find this many meteorites, 111 years after the fall. Given what we found today, I think it's safe to say that only a small fraction of what fell back in 1912 has ever been found, and ever will be found.
We had a really fun time hunting out here today, and we hope that you enjoyed joining us. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.